Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Nomad is back with you. And I want to thank Four Gathers for the follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to start off today with a little bit of. Oh, shoot. No, not that. I forgot to put up my back IR. We'll probably play a little bit of Star Citizen. I'm getting prepped, but we're just gonna watch the Star Citizen live from yesterday. Um, and then because I have a Bar Citizen, it's a virtual Bar Citizen, but I have a Bar Citizen to go to at 2 o'clock today. It's virtual, like I said, and I don't know how they feel about me streaming that. So, um, I don't think I'm gonna stream it. So I have until 2 o'clock to just do my own thing here. Um, but so what I'm gonna do is um uh just get set up as if actually am going to get into Star Citizen, and then if I have time, I'll do a little bit, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, let's do it. Um, Now I'm gonna do the live. I'm not gonna do the PTU. PTU just got updated, but I'm gonna play in live, cause that's what my my thing actually my thing actually said. So I'm just gonna do live. But let's just get into the my other Twitch account, and there we go. This was Inside Star Citizen. Here it is. Game dev life of QA. Now I did not get a chance to look at this at all. I was really busy at work yesterday. So, and then I got home and I was busy here at home. So I did not get a chance to look at even a moment of it. And I am very, very easily distracted by YouTube by YouTube things. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna get into the Star Citizen Live. I'll turn off the music for now for this. We're gonna chill. We're gonna watch this for an hour. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We hang out with a collection of our finest developers and George Stabler, and talk about our work, our experience, our life in development, as it were. On today's show, we are jumping into an often misunderstood, often misrepresented aspect of game development: quality assurance. So before we get started, let's take a few minutes and get to know who our players are. We will start with someone who probably make a little bit cleaner. No introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. She is the Verse's very first original jump point pilot. You might remember her from the CitizenCon 29. Oh yeah. Let's give a big round of applause for Samantha Haley.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Thank you guys. It's really nice to see everybody again virtually. Yes, so I'm here representing QA today. And through QA, I got to do something really amazing at that CitizenCon. Get to fly the carrack and in front of everybody, and it was such a wonderful experience to get to do that. So it's great to be back and to kind of engage with the community a bit more again.
Now, what is it that you actually do for Star Citizen?
So
What's your
in
day
terms
job?
of my
She does this a lot. She does this.
other than flying the
I
carrack
get it though.
sometimes, I am the lead of the QA resource team. And basically, what that means is I deal with everything in terms of training up our new hires, including our experienced staff as well. I go through training with those guys too. We deal with all kinds of guides and information and making sure that everybody is, at the tip top of their craft for QA, basically.
All right. Now, joining us on the show, we have several members of the QA team. Now, you guys are all from the UK studio. Am I not mistaken? All right. So we have members from our UK studio here. Let's start with new and improved George. George, who are you and what do you do for Star Citizen?
So hello everyone, I'm George H. I am currently the QA embedded on the network team. I've been with probably about a year. Worked in a few departments in QA, so I've kind of got like a varied experience in departments. I was the senior for Sam a while back.
I have a noisy chair. I'm really sorry.
The embedded network team, around about a month ago. So I am, here to help the network do the networky things, basically.
So all the 30Ks are your fault.
Exactly that, basically. Yeah.
Harsh. Moving on to Jack. Jack, who are you?
See her? This does this a lot.
So I've been
Probably something she doesn't realize she's doing.
To talk a little
She's awesome though.
The QA I do. I'm part of the core team on QA, so our kind of bread and butter is we sort of look at the core gameplay loop, so making sure that the player works, making sure that when you load in the game, new babbage is still there and we haven't accidentally deleted it, and the missions, that sort of stuff, really, all the basics.
All right. And last but certainly not least, an old hand here at Star Citizen. This gentleman, I gotta give him crap for this. He was here at CIG around the same time I started, and then he got out, and then recently he came back. George, George Zero, George Original. Who are you and what do you do for Star Citizen?
I'm George S. I'm a new QA tester on the gameplay team, so testing new gameplay features as they're coming in. I've just come out of Sam's amazing training as well a week ago, so just had my first week back in the real world of QA, which is interesting to see how things have developed and changed. Obviously, before 3 years ago, almost to the day, I was in QA, and before that, I was in player relations. So some of you may recognize the name from there as well.
Yeah, I think I'm still waiting for you to answer one of my tickets, actually.
Probably.
All right, so on today's show, we're doing things a little different. Now, on Star Citizen Live, we usually have designers, artists, engineers, stuff like this. As we spoke of at the beginning of last week's Inside Star Citizen, because we are in our quarter three of the year, and because that's the CitizenCon into IAE corridor. Everybody is heads down working on their presentations and stuff for that stuff. It gives us the opportunity to stretch our proverbial and metaphysical legs a little bit and explore aspects of Star Citizen's development that maybe we otherwise wouldn't throughout the rest of the year. So just like on ISC, where we took the opportunity to delve into the production life of Steph Bedford, and we're going to jump into some other lives here in the coming weeks there. I wanted to take this opportunity to jump behind the scenes into an aspect of game development that's near and dear to my heart, which is quality assurance. Many of our finest folks start their careers rather in quality assurance. It's a terrific way to learn almost every aspect of game development, because there's very little that goes into Star Citizen or any video game that quality assurance does not touch in some way, shape, or form. Names you might recognize, like Ricky Jelly, got their start in QA. Phil from our audio team got a start in QA. Tyler Whitkin, our director of community, got a start in QA. And I'm not going to go and list a list, but it is a terrific place to learn the industry, to learn almost every aspect of game development. So with that, I want to turn things over to Sam here for a little while. Sam, you are the resource lead. Yeah, it is your job to train these people up and make sure that they can jump into what is a very dense and very thick game with a lot of tribal knowledge. Where do we start with this process?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, when it comes to Star Citizen, it is absolutely massive. And when, you're looking for people to hire, you obviously want to try and take on people who have a little bit of QA knowledge to begin with. But recently we have been reaching out beyond people who have maybe that game's experience already, into people who have, a passion for the project. For example, quite a few of our new starters did actually start off as players of Star Citizen. For example, I know George plays Star Citizen as well, George Stabler, that is. So he started off from that. And it's just really kind of inspiring to take people through that process of knowing nothing about games to kind of warming them up, I guess, and getting them out of the myths and the kind of preconceptions they might have around QA, to the point where, they're fully ready to get into the job and test our massive kind of universe, basically. So, yeah, when it comes to those kinds of, I guess, myths and stuff, a lot of the people who, like I say, don't have that games background may kind of have some conceptions about QA testers and what they do and that kind of thing. So I guess we'll kind of touch on some of those points.
Sure.
So for starters, yeah.
So let's start with the biggest myth buster in the world. QA just plays the game.
I mean, I would love to get paid to just play the game. That would be absolutely wonderful. But sadly, it's not maybe quite as appealing as that. I mean, there's the video that goes around in the game circles where there's the girl who comes in and kind of says, "Hey guys, are you done testing that game? I need another one designed." And they go, "Yeah, just tighten up the graphics on level 3. Man, I can't believe they pay us to play games." And I guess that is kind of the opinion that a lot of people get because of that. But yes, when it comes to actual QA, I think it's more to do with being kind of like an information broker for a developer, and just kind of making sure we know exactly everything about the game, keeping a pulse on it as it goes from the beginning. For example, Jack starts off with the most broken kind of new interesting stuff on the core team. Yep. Those guys deal with all of that kind of thing. And then as it goes on to the more finalized product, you might see it through, George would kind of see that through to the released product, basically. So as well as getting to play the game, which we do repetitively, but we do get to play the game, we kind of are making sure we're providing good detail to the developers on how to reproduce bugs, debug information for anything that comes up, prioritizing certain checks. For example, if new features are coming in, we need to make sure that we are rinsing those and maybe deprioritizing some of the older stuff. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit more about the QA role. Do any of you guys have any points on just playing the game? What kind of things you do outside of
take
that?
us through take us through a typical day, if there is such a thing as a typical day. Describe the daily routine here.
Do you one of you guys want to take that one?
I mean, yeah. Oh.
No, go.
Oh, okay. I've landed on this one. So like Sam said, I work on the core team, which is kind of like we check like the core mechanics of the game to make sure that when all the new and exciting stuff comes in, we haven't accidentally introduced a new variable that like completely ruins the game somehow. So I'm kind of there on the front lines almost of just making sure that the game in its base form is still playable. So in core team, we usually sort of have like a series of checks and we'll like cycle through them. So we'll spend a couple of weeks making sure the player's working. Then we'll spend a couple of weeks making sure that all the different landing zones like Orison, New Babbage, Area 18, they're all still working properly. We might check missions and we'll kind of go through all of those. And once we finish, we just kind of loop back round to the start and start again. So a usual day for QA is I'll come in. The rest of my team have usually already started because I enjoy a lion, and we'll sort of spin up our own sort of like microcosm, a little tiny server that we just test with these 6 or 7 people we've got, and we have a big long list of hundreds and hundreds of checks that are all individually very basic. So it might be like you go into Port Olisar and it's like, are all the textures correct? Is the atmosphere correct? And we'll just kind of systematically go through all those checks for whatever section of the game we're looking at for that week. And anything that's not wrong, we'll sit down, write it out, and then pass that information up to the developers. And then it's kind of their job from there to sort of fix it.
I want to follow up there. You said with the 6 or 7 people, that's not the sum total of everybody in the QA team.
No.
That's your
No.
strike team
That's
been assigned to.
very specifically 7, 8 people on my team just looking at the core features of the game. There's lots of different teams of people looking at other areas of the game.
Yeah, and it's often important to have multiple people because because over the course of days, weeks, months, you're looking at these same assets, these same locations over and over again, and it's very easy to get. I don't know if there's probably a word for it, but just not colorblind, but just snowblind, I guess. You've looked at the same thing so many times that even if something's drastically different this time, it's not always incredibly apparent because you start to see the previous versions every time you look at something. Okay. So anybody else want to add to the typical day before we move on to the next?
I'll add a little bit from the network side as well. So kind of similar to Jack as well, but obviously because I'm on the network team, I'm just testing, network related things and like persistent tech and stuff. And one of the caveats for me doing this was I have to big up the network team and how great the network team are, which you guys are fantastic. So hello if you're watching.
Network team.
Shout out to Clive Johnson.
Yeah, hello to Clive if you're watching. So my typical day, I'm usually an early bird, so I'm in at like 7 o'clock. If we're continuing with a task that, we've been set beforehand, we'll just crack on with that. Check things like emails and messages like normal. And then usually around about 11:30, we'll have like a stand-up where the team will get together and have like a video meeting and say, this is what we're doing today, or what we've done for this morning, and this is what we're now doing for the rest of the day. If anything like major comes up, we can point that in a meeting, say, we're testing this build, but we're having this blocker issue, which is preventing us from doing it. So because we talk to the devs directly, it gives us that more of a frontline contact to say, this is the issue that's blocking us. And then, we can go away, get any evidence that we need, any videos, logs, all that sort of stuff, pass it on. And then we can basically just continue with our day. And then usually about 4 o'clock, I'm heading off for the day.
To address some of the comments that are in the chat right now, as we've mentioned several times before in other shows, 30Ks are a kind of a blanket error. It's for anything that causes a disconnect between the client and the server, and it is the same result, but it can be caused by dozens and dozens of different sources. So when the very frustrating question bubbles to the surface, why haven't they fixed the queue at 30Ks? It's actually, we fixed nearly 100 of them. It's just that there are more. It is a catch-all. It is when the system cannot be more specific, this is the error that it gives. So it often has many, many, many different causes. All right, so first myth busted, QA players just play the game. The next one, when QA folks find bugs, they immediately get fixed. Who wants to tackle this?
Oh, I wish.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that touches on a bit of the things that people are saying about in terms of the 30Ks and stuff. As we probably have felt your pain for thoroughly every day, while we're trying to test stuff as well. It is definitely a struggle, but we, like I say, like I mentioned for the last point, we are information brokers. We deal the information, but we don't get to decide when a developer has time to get in and actually fix the problem. So unless it's something that is really severe and a lot of people are seeing quite consistently, it might be something that people have to deprioritize. QA do try and raise flags about severe issues or things that we find particularly frustrating, gameplay issues, or particularly ugly art issues, or that kind of thing. But it is, at the end of the day, down to the developers to find time to fix that kind of stuff. They also have to find time to create new content and jam all of that in there and somehow get that released out to you guys. Honestly, they do incredible work to manage to get that stuff done. So yes, unfortunately, some of the more pertinent smaller bugs may not get fixed for quite a long time, but we commiserate and do please keep sending them in to us. We love to try and deal with the issues that the community call out particularly. And I mean, George will have dealt with some aspects of that with your old job as well, didn't you, with the player relations stuff?
Yeah. So one of my bits in player relations was, I believe it's become more of an actual team now. It was one of my jobs was with Chris Danks back in the day. We used to, whenever there was a big patch, we'd collate all the major information from the community, like go into chat, look at the issue council, everything, and find out what was annoying people the most and send the top 10 over to QA to have a look through and get bugged up or link to bugs which were already in and make sure the developers were actually aware of the community's pet peeves, the worst ones affecting the people on the PTU.
No, you used a phrase earlier in the show, the information brokers, that I think is a fantastic summation of one of the core tenets of being QA. It's a lot of folks will. A lot of the assumptions that we see publicly are that if a bug makes it to live, and this is in any game, we're talking in general here, anything from Cyberpunk to to full release to us who are in alpha here, the idea that there's the assumption that if a bug makes it to live, it must not have been seen, or it must not have been noticed or found and whatnot. When the reality is often that these things have to be prioritized. It's like anything else, like we say quite often, even with 700 staff working in 5 studios around the world, there are only so many things you can be working on at any given time. And it is often a triage. It is often a triage of figuring out what the most aggressive bugs, what the most invasive bugs are, and then just the ones that you can have solutions for. Not everything that you encounter has a solution that becomes readily apparent. And some things can't be fixed until other systems come online or other tools come online. And it's important. It's super invasive and drives you and everybody else crazy. But it's like the tool that you need in order to be able to address it won't be ready in time. So it's a terrible game of triage. But one of the things I want to make sure that we demystify here is that they do not go out because they are not discovered. I'm sure that happens, sometimes occasionally. But,
oh yeah.
But it is just usually a matter of triage. It is. I met you guys are having the same reactions that the players do, which is like.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we do. Like, my heart goes out to you guys because we feel it too. But yeah, like Jared says, there are occasions where there are things that slip through the net. There are things that us as a team, we have about 100 QA staff across all of our studios, and it's not enough for a game of this scale when you've got thousands of people out there playing it. So please do keep telling us about your stuff. You never know. it might be something that we've missed along the way, and we would love to kind of hear about your problems.
Or enough reports can help change the prioritization.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly that.
Cannot understate the importance of the issue council and folks' participation in it.
Yes, absolutely. And the new issue council is absolutely
Getting dark out.
fantastic.
Think it's gonna rain soon.
So yeah, definitely make
My
the most of
area.
it and use it, because those player experience guys are doing wonderful work with it.
All right, so we're gonna move into our next section, which is about QA structure and how it works. But I want to do one more myth before we move on to that. QA are the enemies of developers. The antagonistic relationship between developers and QA. What do you have to say about that?
Not at all.
Yeah, definitely not. When it comes to devs and QA, obviously we are there to kind of somewhat ruin their day, and we do come in, and sometimes there'll just be something that they have not expected that crops up. But the vast majority of the time, I think we have a pretty good connection with the devs. None of them have called me names to my face. But yeah, we work very closely, pretty much from the beginning of when a feature is being designed. Say, for example, at the moment, in the run-up to 3.15, we've got the healing and inventory changes that are coming in. We've been working really closely with the active feature team on that. Guys like Chris Parry, doing absolutely wonderful work, and they help guide us and we help guide them. So we're all kind of striving towards that same goal of having a good quality product. Developers also test their own work, so it's not just us that are coming around and saying, hey, it's broken. If they go through and launch it up and something's broken, they also don't want that. So yes, as much as it is kind of like a Tom and Jerry cat and mouse kind of comedic relationship in theory, in reality we do have quite a good bond with those guys, which is really fun. And honestly, QA gets to touch on so many different areas of gameplay that we do have like a close connection with all of the devs. Say, for example, artists may never get the chance to work with a particular area, just because of the nature of their job. So it's really great to kind of have our tendrils in there, and George being like directly in the network team. Obviously, if you didn't have a good relationship with those guys, that wouldn't work so well. I mean,
No,
I'm
exactly.
hoping stuff's good.
Yeah, no, stuff's going very well.
Great.
I'm sorry, do you have something?
Also, we kind of know, potentially, because we touch on everything, we potentially know a bit more about other features from the devs, because they'll be very focused on what they're doing, their one little thing. I mean, for example, back when I was doing UI stuff, when I was here before, there was an occasion where literally they did something and it impacted on another system they hadn't even considered. But the second we saw it, we were aware, and we obviously fed that back. So it gives it. So having that relationship with the team gives you you've got the ability to give them knowledge. Sometimes they don't necessarily have access to, because they're so focused on their one little area.
No, that's a good point. It can be very easy for developers to silo and tunnel vision down into the thing that they're working, and because the QA is embedded and kind of this viscous membrane that sits between all the different departments and whatever, they're usually many times the first time somebody goes, you might want to check with this team over here, because what you're doing is going to affect what they're doing and stuff. It's really great. And I also, when you were telling the story, I often feel like the Grim Reaper, because whenever I approach, this goes back more to when we were all in the office and everything, but whenever I would approach somebody's desk or whatever, there would always be this, oh no, Jared's coming to ask me to be in a video, or something. Jared's asking me to be in a, so very often I would approach, and then you'd see people like, oh, this is the time to get up and use the bathroom, and go away. And this is the first time I realized that QA can sometimes probably have the same effect. Like when a QA person is coming, it's like, oh, which one of my systems is broken and not working right now? So I can relate.
Yeah.
The embedded thing I think is a good transition into our next section, which is about CIG structures. So many QA teams in Well, let's just put it this way: there's not one way to make a video game. There's not one way to make a video game. Every video game developer out there, every studio around the world does things in their own way and slightly different from one another. But many folks, many companies will sequester their QA. They'll be in a different building altogether or on a different floor and whatnot. We take a different approach here at CAG, and we take the word embedded very seriously. We put our QA like right there in with the teams at the same row of desks with the designers and the programmers and everything that are working on them. Talk to us about the QA structure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you say, we do have those main kind of QA teams, like Jack's team, like George's team, that are the kind of main gameplay focused QA guys, and they run through together as like a team of QA. Granted, they still do kind of contact developers and work with them on that way, but they're more of a kind of QA team. So we've got those main QA teams, like those in the UK, and also in Austin, Texas. We have a few like testers who work as part of like main teams like that, as well as the core and the gameplay teams. We also have a vehicles and FPS team, which I led for a short amount of time. It was really fun to kind of delve into the ships and the shooters kind of stuff, basically. And then we also have the tech team who deal with everything editor based. So all of the kind of tools that our developers use that also need to work. So not just the game playing aspect of things, also the game making aspect of testing too. But yes, like George here, we have multiple embedded testers who basically are part of their teams directly. So George is part of the network team. We have people in the UI team, audio team, and basically they get to be the person who is the point of contact who knows everything about that particular area. When it comes to QA, we are generalists. We try and do our best to provide info across the entire game, but obviously, you know, we can't remember everything. There's a lot of stuff in terms of logging, debug. I can't even get started on crashes. There's so much with crashes. We have a crash guide that is literally an hour read on its own, just all different sections. So yeah, it can get quite complex. And having those embedded guys who are literally there to know the exact ins and outs of literally how to develop everything to do with that particular team is so useful for general QA, for the developers themselves. It is a really good kind of symbiotic relationship, I guess, that we have going on. I mean, George, do you want to talk a little bit about your transition over to embedded?
Yeah, so it was kind of like a weird culture shock in a way. So before joining games, I've worked in like retail for almost 10 years, did my like degree and then started in QA. Moved for like a few different departments. So before I was on like live release, so what gameplay is now. So we would test like the features before they go live. Then I moved on to the core team, which Jack is on now. Then I moved over to tech. Then I moved over to the resource team with Sam for a good like couple of months, and then I ended up moving on to the embedded team. So it's quite a weird of a culture shock, because the first thing that I thought of going into an embedded team was like, I need to make sure everything's good. So if I see a texture bug, I need to like bug it up, which that is the premise. But usually when you're an embedded team, you just focus on the stuff that your team does, because that's why you're there. You're running around trying to fix all of these things, like bug all of these things up, and it's like, no, just take a minute, calm down, fix your network stuff, bug your network stuff up, and then relay that to the devs. And that's the kind of the way the team works. I think the biggest thing is that when you're like a generalist QA, is that you're not really talking to devs like on a day-to-day basis, really, because you're more like relating to your seniors or your leads. Whereas going on to an embedded team, you're talking to your lead, who's obviously an engineer or developer, and plus like your seniors and the junior programmers and all that, like on a day-to-day basis. And when Sam was saying before, it's like a catch-22. So when people say QA or devs must hate QA because they always finding these bugs, can't they just stop so we can do other things? But at the end of the day, it goes hand in hand. So, I'll go to, my lead or my senior and be like, oh, I'm not too sure how to use this specific tool or command or something. And then they'll come back at me and be like, oh, it does this, it means X, Y, Z. And kind of the same vice versa as well. So, if devs in game and they're not too sure like a specific thing, because, a lot of the things in game do change quite rapidly as well, because the game is huge. And then they come to us and be like, I'm not sure how I do X, Y, Z. So then we'd go and help them do what they need to do in order to check their fixes have taken, basically.
Gotcha. Anybody else? Want to add anything?
I think we kind of somewhat touched on the aspects of it from the day-to-day stuff. But yeah, like George says, it's kind of the different dynamics of we have our like QA teams, and then we have our embedded guys, and then we have like the squadron team, which is kind of a hybrid between embedded and also being its own kind of small team of QA, which those guys do great work as well.
Right. So the structure and the format is malleable depending on the needs of the particular aspect of game development.
Definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about the relationship to the rest of the developers. You guys are sometimes asked to do more than just test. Like we talked about at the top of the show, Sam. You most famously flew the character during the Jump Point demo at CitizenCon 2 years ago. What are these other aspects of your job besides just testing and writing up bugs?
Yeah. So yeah, obviously the most obvious one I can point to is the stuff like where we get to be involved in the CitizenCon playthroughs. That kind of thing is super fun. I know George did some work on the testing for the CitizenCon stuff as well. But yeah, being able to like perform that live and kind of do that in front of a crowd is a little bit of a different skill than my day-to-day kind of just me and the two monitors kind of testing. Very nerve-wracking, but super fun. So yeah, we do things like that. We do game playing for marketing footage as well. So say, for example, if they've got a particular feature they want to highlight, sometimes we'll get QA to do particular maneuvers or capture particular footage in game. But yeah,
Just a second. I think got a thunderstorm rolling through. I just want to go check it. Be right back. Oh yeah. There are black clouds rolling through my area here. And it's getting windy. So I'm not really prone to power outages, but don't be surprised if I have a power outage. I'm just warning everybody in advance. But yeah, it's like dark outside. It's just past noon and it is like dark. And I looked at the clouds coming from the west and they're just black, like dark gray, and they're heading this way. I think I didn't really look to see what direction they were going to, but but it looks like it's rolling this way. So I'm looking at my living room and it's dark. so yeah, there's thunderstorms going through. But anyway, let's continue.
Live playthroughs and stuff, like I say, on the stage, or we sometimes do recorded playthroughs of things as well for CitizenCon. We play sometimes during review meetings. So, say for example, they're reviewing a feature for the directors, kind of want to
Thunder's rolling through.
A particular aspect of gameplay is going in terms of in client. How is it actually looking? We'll sometimes get involved with those. So that can be a bit nerve-wracking as well. but probably doesn't quite match up to sitting on stage with CR there and Todd just there.
It cannot be overstated how much you don't want developers playing their own game. We've showcased it on a couple of the Friday live streams in the past, and there's a reason we don't do it anymore. It's let's just say the skill set that is required to make a game and the skill set that is required to play a game are if it were a Venn diagram, there would be two separate circles. And leave it.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Which always surprises people when they jump into game with the people who make the game or whatever. They're like, why are they so bad at their own game? Different skill sets, folks.
Yeah.
Different skill
Fully.
sets.
Especially the art kind of based stuff. Those guys barely get to
why aren't the artists good at playing the game? Why didn't that transfer over?
Yeah.
Let's talk about working alongside the community. I think the last pillar of CIG structure here, you've got how you work with the devs and stuff like this, but let's talk about working alongside the community. We famously have our issue council. We take the extra step of deputizing a giant chunk of our community in order to help us and inform us and help with regression and stuff like this. Talk to me about that. What's that like? Does that make your job easier? Does it make your job harder? Please say it's easier.
It definitely doesn't make it harder, no. I mean, it maybe gives us a little bit more work to do, but there's always plenty of work to do with Star Citizen, so that's totally fine. No, we work really closely with the player experience guys to kind of investigate those issues that come in from Issue Council. Like I said, those top 10 issues do come to us. We do look into them. We do make sure they're updated on the database. So you can, rest assured, we are definitely touching your bugs. Like, we do see them, and we do appreciate all of the kind of info that you can give us about those particular issues, especially if it's something that's on and off. Sometimes having that stuff from the issue council is the key to us finding out exactly where to go and how to, provide the right debug. If it's a particular thing that we didn't think along the way, a step that we were missing, that's super useful to have. We also do, outside of the issue council stuff, we do take things from the community, from the forums. If there are like feedback things that we think are probably bugs, we do pick up those as well. Videos, for example, on YouTube, all of our content creators there and streamers, we do get a lot of that content sent through to us and kind of say, hey, have you seen this happen? Is there a bug for it? Help. And we'll usually troll through our database for that. So yeah, it's really kind of an interesting position here at CIG, especially in comparison to other QA roles I've done in the industry, where we are fully tight-knit with the community because we are releasing constantly, and it's an experience I've just never had before. When you're working on a project that is going to be released and kind of shipped off and nobody else is looking at it, it gives you a whole other perspective, and you're able to do those big load testing of thousands of people or 50 people to a server every single time, which we don't often get to do in QA. So that's really kind of an experience I didn't expect to have when I came to this job, I guess, and has been really interesting. It is like having another crew of testers that could basically help us sweep everything that we need to do. I mean, how have you guys found interacting with the community? I mean, I know we've kind of touched on it with George, but
it's really useful, because I know back I keep saying back in the day back in the day there was an issue we had at Levski where occasionally everything would go psychedelic colors, and we saw it 3-4 times in testing and we couldn't repro it. There's nothing we could do. It just happened every so often, and so we couldn't work out what was causing it at all. And obviously it then went to the PTU to be tested, and actually, because it gives you those extra people throwing at it, we could see what was causing it and things, and pass that on. And it's so useful to have that information to be able to feed back, and certainly in situations like that with things which are ultra low reproduction, so the chance of us reproducing them in standard testing are it's just luck whether we get it and we can reproduce what caused it or even work it out at the time.
So we're talking about right now. We're talking about the players, the communities, and how they can help with the testing. Is there any? I'm looking at the chat here. Are there any guidances, advices that you can give the community for when they're filling out their issue council reports? Things to look out for, things to avoid.
Yeah. So, I mean, for starters, things like video footage and screenshots, obviously, if you can provide that kind of physical evidence, it makes it a lot easier for us to kind of maybe see things that perhaps you don't know the particular word for externally. So, having those videos are really useful. Um, uh, Particularly mentioning the types of ships and the like variant of ship that you are encountering an issue in can be really useful to us. Actually, a lot of bugs end up being specific to certain manufacturers or certain types of ships because of the way that they're set up. So if it is a ship's bug, maybe going into detail about the ship that you have, whether you've changed the loadout. For example, if you've changed any of your settings, so keybinds or graphic settings, that kind of thing. Really, honestly, the more info you can provide, the better, basically. Do you guys have any other suggestions for things that people could provide?
Not really. I don't think I've ever seen an issue council bug and gone, oh no, they've given me too much information. Please add less to your bugs. Like, the more you can give me, the happier I am, because it gives me like a much better starting point to try and reproduce what you're seeing in game. If you've given me loads of information, I can just jump in game, get to it straight away, and go like that. I can still do that if you've given me less information, but it might take me a bit longer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the more information, the better, really.
Definitely.
And don't think, oh, that's been there forever. They'll know about it, because we might not. It might be something which has been missed and missed and missed. And if you raise it, we'll then go look and check, and we might even go, oh, that's got to be it. It's been like that that's something which has been there for ages, and then we'll go search and we won't find it. So even if you think we must know, let us know about it.
Or it can be something that was deprioritized, and every time it happens, and that can help to up the prioritization of it. So so just because you see it already, just because you think, oh, they must already know about it already, does not stop. Submit that. It helps in a number of ways.
Exactly.
Let's go to our third pillar of today's show here. We've talked about general myth busting of Q&A. We've talked about the structure of Q&A, of QA and how they work within CIG. Sam, you are the resource lead. Your unique talents are maybe best served for training and stuff. We've actually had several people in the chat today already talk about, can you take us through some of the training, some of the resources. Now, obviously, training for QA, we've only got 20 minutes left in the show. We're not going to be able to do the full thing, but give us a high level. What is training for QA involved? Because it is often an entry level position for game development.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, we've been taking on a few people that are coming from the community who don't have any experience or education in games. It can help, obviously, if you have that kind of background. But even I, coming from a place where I had QA experience, learning Star Citizen was kind of its own mountain to climb. So it is kind of something that we thought about in the QA department, and we wanted to kind of prioritize making sure that the people coming through knew the game, knew what they were doing, and were able to kind of get into work and test the project quickly, I guess. So yeah, when it comes to a project like ours, with the longevity of the project, it is super worth it to invest a good amount of time into fully training our people from scratch. And yeah, just from our guys, I mean, Jack did kind of, you had like a bit of university games and indie background before coming into QA, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did like some game stuff at university, and I was in like a much smaller company, 4 people, before I got to Star Citizen. And I think that does help, but I would say it's like in no way required. I don't think during training there was any point where I was like, oh, I did it at university, so I'm so much better than everybody else who hasn't done it. Everybody was kind of just there like, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff to learn here.
Yeah.
Thrown in the deep end. And yeah, George H coming from retail, George S was literally in the Navy before you came to CIG. So, it really, you can come to this career from pretty much anywhere as long as you've got the passion for it and you show us that you are willing to learn. Then I love to take new people who are just passionate about Star Citizen and want to test it and make sure it's good. So when it comes to the actuality of what we do with the training, we take all of our new starters here on an 18-day crash course through everything Star Citizen. For starters, that first week is kind of just game familiarization. Obviously, we do need to be able to play the game. So for those of us who maybe haven't played Star Citizen before, but even those who have, it's good to get some time to dedicatedly sit down with each area, kind of go through bit by bit. We start off with some game basics, being able to get your ship, fly around, go from place to place. Then we go through missions, so all of the kind of contracts that we have in game through Contract Manager, mining, which now is quite an in-depth thing in terms of, we have the ship mining, ground vehicle mining, FPS mining, all that kind of different stuff. So we have a full day dedicated to just kind of getting those down. Then we kind of touch on our other areas as well, like Arena Commander and Star Marine and Theater War. So, I mean, that thing that we are working on. So yes, we do touch on the minigame areas as well to make sure that everybody's kind of up to date with all of those.
I have no idea
After
what
we
that
do,
face was that she just made there.
if you were at the CitizenCon that I kind of was on stage for, you might have got the chance to play Theatres of War there. Actually, they had a really cool setup room for that. Yeah, it's really good stuff, and I'm hoping that you guys can kind of play it soon. But yes, after we've done all of the game playing stuff, we move on to the technical aspects of things. So that is all of our test commands and what we call kind of CVARs. So allowing us to kind of get all of that debug information, go from place to place much faster. Say, for example, we have go-to commands that allow us to zip from planet to planet in an instant, which saves us a lot of time while testing. As I'm sure you guys are aware, it takes a while to get from planet to planet naturally. How to run our internal builds. Like Jack was talking about before, we do spin up our own separate servers and kind of run basically what we call development builds, which allow us to get a lot more debug information, development information that you can't get on the live servers. Our internal editor as well, we do touch over some basics for that, even though most of our testers don't usually dabble too much in editor. We do kind of give them a little bit of basics around how to actually set that up. And then we start to move on to things like, say, for example, QA basics, writing bugs, what kind of evidence that you need to provide for certain bugs, and what kind of rules you need to follow while writing bugs, searching for bugs, testing like existing bugs, that kind of thing. And then lastly, we do crashes, which, yeah, it does take a little while to kind of go through all of those.
Yes.
While you guys are well acquainted with the 30K, they do come in many different flavors internally, and because of that, we kind of have to know how to deal with each one, which can take a little while, but once you've kind of wrapped your head around the basics, I would say that's probably one of the most technical and difficult things that we have to do in QA. So once you got that down, you're pretty much on your way.
How has work from home changed this process?
Yeah, so I mean, since we have started working from home, literally all of these guys have kind of come in during the working from home time. I literally have never seen any of these guys in office, which is a crazy thought to think about now.
It's strange.
My brain kind of places people in the office as if they were there the whole time.
The wrist is very flat.
Yeah, I have no idea what height they are. I just kind of guess. Yeah, it's been a huge challenge to kind of adapt everything to working from home. But honestly, through doing voice chats each day, kind of just while we're working, we'll kind of use voice chats to each other. It kind of almost feels like being in the office these days, and it's really useful for me to be able to like screen share while I'm walking through particular things. I do miss the aspect of being able to kind of lean over and help kind of guide someone directly, but you know, we do our best, and you know, the wonders of technology have kind of allowed us to do a lot. I mean, how was it for you guys starting a new job while working from home?
It's really good. It was really, really well done. It was a bit weird on the first day, but it was so smooth, so it's just basically straight into it. It didn't really feel any different from starting a job anywhere else. It sounds daft, which is good.
That's good. How about you, Jack?
It's been an interesting experience. It's been very different. There are times in training, and even like after you finish your training, because 18 days sounds like a lifetime of training. You've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There are times when you're new and you're unsure about things that it is a little bit anxious, a little bit stressful, not having a person in the room with you to kind of like, if it all goes horribly wrong, just like jump in and like fix it for you. You do have to be like a little bit independent and kind of work with people kind of talking in your ear, like, okay, I know it sounds terrible, but it's not actually that bad. We've seen this before. It's fine. What you need to do is this, this, and this. Yeah. So I think during the training period, that is a consideration, but you work through it, and I hope it's all worked out. No one's fired me yet, so I must be doing something okay.
He's doing pretty okay, I guess.
Gijin in the chat says it weirdly doesn't feel live to me. Is the show live? No. It's not. We pre-recorded this.
It's not live.
Yeah, we pre-recorded this.
And the fact that you're
3 weeks
here
ago.
in the live chat now just means that you have no free will and that you were predestined to be here in chat today and ask this question. With that, we've got a couple minutes left. Let's jump into some of the chat questions. How much automated regression testing are you able to implement versus inefficient and messy manual testing? Ooh, this person doesn't like the manual testing. Do my biases show? Yes, your biases are showing.
That's totally fine. I understand. Yeah. So actually, I mean, automating a testing for a project like this is quite challenging, to say the least. As it stands, we are moving slowly towards being able to kind of automate certain test cases. We do have a guy who is embedded automation, actually, and he is working slowly towards making it more available to all of us. But we do have a couple of things that we use internally already. I know, George, on your time on the tech team, you might have touched on some of this stuff with Test Runner.
Yeah, that's correct. So Test Runner would, it would grab a build and, run through like basic sanity checks. It doesn't go too in depth because obviously when we make an internal development build and then run it through Test Runner, it can take a few hours to do that. So it goes through the basic checks and obviously when we try and grab a build, it'll give us all the information. So, this was fine, this was fine, this was fine, but this was broken. But sometimes we can get around it because it's not like a core thing that, would stop us from testing. But there have been cases that, we tried to grab builds and, it will just break continuously. But that's where Test Runner kind of picks that things out so we can kind of identify that before we go into game to say, we need to do this task, but this build is broken. What do we do kind of thing? And then obviously it's usually just the devs will go and fix it, ASAP, kick a new build, or we just like usually revert back and then carry on the testing.
Yeah, exactly. It's mostly kind of launch sanity checks and that kind of thing.
Yeah. basically, yeah.
Very basic pass fails at the moment, but we are working our way towards it, and it is something that we are very interested in. So if you are, an authority on automated testing, please do come in. We would love to hear your opinions.
What is your most valuable virtue in QA, and why is it patience? There's a lot of even questions there.
That's a good
I
one.
think Jack can answer this the best, to be honest.
Can I?
You deal with the most crashes on your team, I think.
Oh,
That's
yes.
true. That is
Yeah.
true.
The stream.
I don't know if the mic picked it up, but there's serious thunder going on. Looked like it picked it up. Getting louder. Creeping up on my area here. Still pretty dark.
Team I work on is notorious for being potentially the least stable one in the game. I think the patience is obviously a big part of it, but I think the thing I've used the most since I moved on to the core team is my memory, remembering things. A lot of issues tend to maybe disappear and then come back. And after a while, you just kind of like remember like the really bad ones. So something might appear that's been gone for like 3 months, and you can just look at it and go, "Oh, I know exactly what that is. I've seen that before." And you'll go and you'll find it and you'll link it back up and you'll escalate with the devs and go, "This has started happening again. What did you do, please? Please help."
The other one I'd say is curiosity quite a bit, because you find something which isn't quite right and you pull the string, and then you find something else, and then you find something else, and then you find something else.
Yes. I think that is a lot of what a lot of people don't really understand about QA sometimes. Is that there's one thing and you think, oh, that's fine, it's an easy fix, but then that will branch off into 100,000 different things that that needs to be fixed. So does that. Before this main thing can be fixed, it branches off so much. Game dev is so complex. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really like that. I don't think that can be understated. It's the one thing we can't teach is that curiosity, that inquisitiveness, that ability to not just see something and go, oh, I know what that is, that's that, and then leave it at that and move on. It's looking under the hood and pulling on that string, the proverbial string, as you said, and just watching the entire sweater come undone, and then knowing that the developer that you're sitting next to, the programmer, is like, you're creating more and more work for this person next to you, but it's like you have to keep pulling. You just kind of look at him, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My job.
It doesn't work.
I'm sorry. I get paid for this, I guess.
All right. We are just about done. The last question I see here from the chat says, "What is your favorite aspect of working in QA?" I don't want to be too. It's a little too. I don't know, saccharine for me. So I want to ask, what's your least favorite aspect of working in QA, and then we'll do the favorite. Because everybody's got something they wish were different.
No crashes.
Yeah.
Crashes are the main bugbear, especially if you're working on a test, you get right to the end and the server's gone, and you're like, no, why?
Absolute pain in my life.
Just accept them now.
You're just trying to get something. You've all set up. You've been with somebody else, multiple people. You're just set up to do something, get something tested. And nope.
Yeah. Yeah, you're managing to like kind of hook up your thing. You're about to like catch the bug that you've been hunting all day, and then the pop-up.
A completely unrelated crash,
Yeah, completely something else, and you're like, no, I don't have time for this.
It's never the one you wanted. It's always a different one.
You're not the crash I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This one.
Not you. Oh yeah, every time. Yeah, I guess that would probably be my least favorite aspect.
Yeah.
When bugs kind of pop up in the search for other bugs, and you just kind of have to go, not now. Shh.
Go to
Add
sleep.
it to my post-it note of things I'll have to look into later.
Yeah. The good old sticky note of unloved bugs.
Yeah.
Now we can do what's your favorite.
Oh, I would have to say the amount of things that we learn. We learn so much in QA, whether it's like a kind of like a parts of like a dev kind of thing, and just the game, and just like general how games are put together. I mean, I love learning things, so that's what I love about QA. It's just being a sponge of knowledge.
I say for me, it's there's a lot of different things, but the thing I think I enjoy the most is it's the people. It's such a good, vibrant group of people who, even when you're having the horrible crashes, you'll be able to have a joke and have a laugh. And it's, if it wasn't for a good group of people, I don't think I could do it. So, but it's such a good group of people.
George,
Why
you
I came
laughed.
back.
You're lucky we let you back in. What about you, Jack?
We should have gone before George, because I was going to say the same sort of thing. I think, especially on the game dev stream, which does tend to have some minor issues with stability, you do form a real sense of like camaraderie with like the people around you, because it's not just you that's having like a horrible time and you've been trying to get into game for 4 hours and you've not made it past the main menu yet. It's you and 7 other people who are also having a horrible time and haven't made it past the main menu yet. You kind of friends for life, forged in that fire together.
I feel bad there. I was saying about knowledge, and everyone's like about people. I do love everyone I work with, by the way.
That's too late, Josh. We don't like
No,
anybody.
it's
Please,
okay.
let me in.
I understand, George. I understand.
And how about you, Sam?
Yeah, I guess as well as being able to kind of do the same things as those guys, I love learning stuff. I love kind of picking the brains of all the different developers, especially, you know, the big brain people like the directors who just know so much about how to make everything cutting edge. It's difficult. I guess just generally being able to work to support games is something that I really kind of enjoy. When I came out of university, I did an animation degree, and I hated animation. I came out of it, I was like, never again in my life. But I knew I still wanted to kind of support developers, and I knew I wanted to support games development and do that kind of stuff, because that is something I'm so passionate about. I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do, and just kind of fell into QA by pure chance, just because it was something that was entry level and, you know, everybody could kind of have a go at. And I ended up staying here because I love it so much. So yeah, I think it is just something that really is an interesting career, and really kind of is a way to get your fingerprints on a game, and kind of put your influence on a game's development. You know, without having to necessarily be a creative or something along those lines.
And for those of you who are watching either live on Twitch or on YouTube on the replay, if you're interested in pursuing a career in quality assurance, you can check out the cloudimperiumgames.com/jobs website. We got 6 studios around the world now. We got LA, we got Austin, we got Manchester, we got Derby or Derby, depending on how you pronounce it. We got Frankfurt, and we've got our newest studio in Montreal. So lots of opportunities there to join the team and help make Star Citizen the best damn... I was going to say Space Sim, but it's so much more at this point. It's aiming to be so much more at this point. Best damn video game of all time. I'm going to get crap for that afterwards. All right. Sam, Jack, George, I'm Jared. Thank you so much for joining us here on Star Citizen Live. Tune in for Inside Star Citizen next week. We are taking a look at hospitals.
Oh,
The new hospital in New Babbage.
that'd be interesting.
Wars in general, the Grimhex one, which is surprisingly cool, and of course the clinics that are coming along, and as well as exploring behind the scenes of the gold standard work going on for the Saber, the Gladius, and the Retaliator. So stay tuned to that, and then we'll be back here next Friday with something I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Take care, everybody. Godspeed.
Okay, guys.
See you in the verse.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
I've only been doing this for like
Yeah.
7 years. I should figure out how to end a show.
All
At some point, I should figure out how to end a show.
It's fine.
right. Hey, man. That's some good stuff. Yeah, I admire that one girl there. She Eric. Oh. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. All right, let's boogie on out of here. And I got an hour and a half before I probably have to cut it. So let's get in. kind of trouble we can get in. Go into the live. Still have that. Well, let's see what happens when I. Apparently, there's still some cargo in my MSR that I still gotta sell. Oh my God, Tal! I'm so sorry. This is like a time of day where my body goes, okay, you're gonna. I'm not a napper. I don't take naps. I hate taking naps because I suffer from FOMO and fear of missing out. Even though I'm around, I still am not the down for it. I have done it very, very rare occasions, but don't normally. So yeah, but my body is like, ugh. If you didn't notice, I did kind of goes off a little bit, not because the content was boring or anything. Times I can't help it. My body just says, "For you." Yep, we have audio. I'm gonna chance that that my controls are still good. Oh shoot! Blink. And it looks like I am not in the MSR, so I probably have to claim it. Oh, actually, no. I didn't log out in my MSR. That's right. I did. I parked it here at I think I'm at Tressler. Oh, okay. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. All right. No, that's fine. Okay. I thought I logged out in my MSR. I did not. That's what I was trying to do more often, but last time I played, I was just here in Tressler. Is it Tressler? I think it's Tressler. And I just logged out here. Oh no, not even Shallow Frontier. Oh, okay. I'm at Crew L1 or Mick L1. Okay, yep. That's exactly where I'm supposed to be. All right, good. No, hangers and habs are at the same spot. Oh, here it is. Okay, I gotta just keep going. Actually, you know what I should do? Let's go to admin office, see if I can't sell the rest of that stuff. Oh. My ship actually empty? Oh, it's empty. Okay. Oh, alright, I could deal with that. I thought that I still had like 6 units left. Maybe it was just some glitch. And it was reporting that I still had stuff in cargo. Well, I'll find out when I get on board. Uh-oh. Oh, I think we're crashing. Nothing's working. Wait for the crash. I think we're crashing. Yep, there goes. 30K. Okay. Gonna let me in, or is it gonna give me bad token? Oh, looks like it's gonna work. Whew. Oh, you know what? I can put the music back. Oh, shoot. And turn on my oh no, not that. I need game glass. There we are. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's game glass. Huh. Pad 8. really wish there was another way in Star Runner. I wish there was another door. I really wish there was like I could walk toward the front and get like right to the front, or near the front. Yeah, looks like all the cargo's gone. Okay. That's fine by me.
Crusader Industries, a journey worth taking. Systems on. Launch complete. Landing gear up.
All right, let's see what I can find here, mission-wise. Wow. Wow, nothing here. I just want to do a box mission. And nothing. I have to go elsewhere. Go to her L4.
Quantum travel engaged.
Alright, it's gonna take a little while. Just sit back and chill, people. Oh, here, let me... Hello. Allons-y. Aragon, Chosen Aragon is playing Armor 3. He's a good streamer. He is an awesome Arma 3 streamer. Go check him out. The Chosen Aragon. Here, let me put up there you go. Check him out. He does some amazing Arma 3 streaming. He does, I mean, just phenomenal things that he puts together, missions and whatnot that he puts together, which is just incredible. You know what? I need to make another one. Let me see if I can't do this one too. Got it. And this is my friend. She does digital artwork, and she's really good too. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there we go. Check out those two. Amazing. Aragon does Star Citizen once in a while too, but his main focus is Arma 3. And Sketch This, her husband actually is really into Star Citizen. But she does digital art, and she's like really, really good. I got an hour. I should probably be able to just get one mission in, and then I'll cut it for the day. Chill and do... No, I wonder if I could do... You know, maybe I'll do some of this downstairs in the living room. That might be good. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, actually, yes, I can, because I can do it on Zoom. On my tablet. We'll see what happens. I'll just stay up here. Don't worry about it. Is it the way that you... Oh. Oh wow, I didn't realize there's a sound effect for you moving. You can actually hear like my head, you know, my equipment kind of jingling. Shrink, shrink. It's real subtle. It is in game. It's not my headphone physically here. It's in game. You can actually hear your character turning his head, and whenever loose object or clothing or helmet that he has actually makes a noise. I never noticed that.
Quantum travel complete.
Okay. Oh, wow. I have to go elsewhere. There's a fee involved. Yeah. Never noticed that. Well, okay, well. I can't do anything here. Am I? I just go to Hurston? Oh no, because I'm at Hurston, essentially. Oh, well. Go to Hurston.
Quantum travel engaged.
It's still really dark out, and it's just, you know, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's dark. Public established. Alright, now I should have different things here. Yeah, here we go. Deliver. Pick up all of them from different places and then drop them off at once. Everest Harbor above Hurston. Hurston and Hurston. Right? Okay, let's do it. Not gonna dilly-dally on that one.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
Whew, long cooldown. What the hell? Guess I did travel kind of.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
I really on the oh, wow. What a landing. What a landing.
Engines off.
I can use track IR with in FPS if while I'm walking if I wanted to, but sometimes it's a bit distracting. Wait. Oh, shoot. Here I got the music game and I got music. It's okay, people. Add 8. Add 8. Add die. I'm gonna get some Chinese food for dinner tonight whilst I do the Bar Citizen and have it delivered. I gotta go to the admin office. Where do I get? How do I get to the elevators? Oh, right here. Woo. See if I'm right. Yep. Admin office is upstairs. Yep. There it is. Thank you, dude. I'm so glad they put the, I mean, I know it's old news now, but I'm so glad they put the pad number that you actually landed on. A, it's written on the thing, and B, it's displayed so that you know where your ship is parked. But for the longest time, they didn't do that, and it was like, okay, where did I land? What the heck was that? So that's just awesome. I'm under a little time constraint, so I gotta get going. Oh, I did it again. I dropped the package and hit the elevator at the same time. It didn't flake out though.
Engines on.
What's the other pickup? There's the other pickup too.
Quantum travel complete.
Pickup and pickup is on the surface. Oh man, such. Yeah, 40 minutes until the Bar Citizen starts.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
I should be able to get it done in.
Attention, please. Crusader Security has new information regarding another possible outlaw attack, and would like to strongly encourage all of us traveling through the sector to use extra caution. While we have no specifics to share at this time, rest assured that we are diligently working to stop any such threat before it occurs. Thank you for your time.
That was very poorly timed, because I don't know if it messed up my my request or not. Oh, there it is. Eat this.
Landing gear down.
Can't tell where I'm facing. Oh, okay, we're right side up. Cool.
Landing complete. Engines off.
To that port side there, but made it. Do, 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 wee. Good call it, right? Here it comes. Whew. That's a long ways away. There. I really gotta get a different microphone set up. I gotta hang it like from above, so that's above me. Cause it's like in the way, like I can't see stuff. It's not huge, but you know, it would help a little bit if I didn't have to look around the microphone in order to see stuff. Like it's like I can't right now. It's hiding my entire keyboard, or 90% of it. I have to like do this. Now I'm trusting it is in the gallery at the admin office, not at the cargo. Ooh, it might be at the cargo. 153. Oh boy. Oh man. Yep, it is at cargo. It probably says in the thing too. Okay, let me check that real quick. Everest Harbor above Hurston. No, it doesn't say. Alright, well. That's one thing that sucks. Is like, you really don't know where you have to pick it up. It's like, you have to kind of guess. It's almost always at admin, but in case like this, all of a sudden, oh no, this one's at cargo. But it's like, it doesn't tell you that. You know? You have to kind of like go to admin and then realize, oh, wrong place, I gotta go to cargo. Yeah, it's definitely over here. But the last one was at admin, so it's like, you know, they need to tell you so you don't have to try to figure it out. I mean, you know, I guess maybe that's their idea of gameplay. I don't know. But this, you know, I'm sure this is like an iteration type of thing and they'll get better at it. Uh-oh. Taking an abnormally long time. And it's still dark out. It's not as dark as it was before, but the living room looks like it's a bit... Uh-oh. Oh, okay, here we go. Whew. Man, that took a long time. I was getting nervous. Oh! Rude. Cargo. Yeah, I'm not getting in there. Same elevator I took. Okay. Hangers and Habs. You know, I also have a taste for sushi. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, where's my ship? Uh-oh. I forgot where my ship was. At 7. Whew. That's my fault, because I could have just looked at the sign and I just didn't take note of it. Yeah, see, it didn't highlight it anywhere. Usually I can just look at it. Maybe because it's package. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. Bother. Oh. Okay. Oh, ramp access. That's my ship. But it still didn't tell me what. Didn't tell me what pad it was on. It says right over there, pad 7. See it?
Engines on.
In the last package, somewhere. Oh, you know what? It's on. What the hell just happened? assuming it's still on pad 7. If this breaks, I'm not going to worry about it. Acting very odd. Yeah, things are not reacting well. See, the things are moving, but the numbers aren't changing. We're moving, but the numbers aren't changing. Well, actually, there is kilometers. Not moving that. Oh yeah, it did change. Okay. Alright. Oh, you know what? It must have stored my ship right at that moment. Okay. I have to call it back. I didn't think of that. What's sitting there for? I didn't get a warning. I think it worked as designed. So I don't know why I wasn't just standing on the pad. I don't know why it threw me. Oh, well, I guess. That number is slowly changing. Now we're 72 kilometers. 70,072 kilometers. It was 70. And then it went to 71. Now it's 72. Oh, 73. So yeah, the planet is rotating. Oh yeah, it got stored. That's all. No problemo. Had 6. Yeah, look at that. Now it's 75. Wow. That's the planetary rotation. Uh-oh. I don't see any packages in there though. Oh, okay, no, they're here. Okay, good. Woo. And where's the other? Pickup package. There it is. There it is. Alright. Oh, you know what? I think I have to be actually sitting in the seat. Yeah, I have to be. Oh man, all these doors are closed again. Hey, how's it going, Solo? Yeah, the star map definitely has definitely still has issues, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Oh, everything is,
Launch complete.
and I am under a time constraint because I gotta go to a bar citizen that starts in 20 minutes. I just want to do this one last one. There, pickup package. There we go. Gear up. Initiate spool.
Landing gear up.
Okay, we're not getting that, so pick up package. That's what I was looking for. Perfect. Hit it. Fortunately, all I have to do is drop all of them off at one spot, and then that'll be it. Oh no. How's it going, man? Thank you for dropping by. Someday, someday they will fix the map. But it's on its way. I'm not gonna, oh, you know, I always make this mistake. In atmosphere, this thing is very weighty, and I like it, but I always just forget that I have to be a little more careful when I roll. Look, we don't need that. Pick up three, drop off one is better. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, man. It's a virtual bar citizen, so I just got to start up Zoom. But I don't know how they feel about me streaming it, so that's why I was gonna stop the stream. But I don't know. I might stream it, so I don't have to go anywhere. It's right here. But I just got to start the Zoom meeting, and I like to be there early, so I've got 15 minutes. So yeah, I want to get there in time, but these go really long. The last one I did with these guys, it was supposed to stop at like 7, and I think we kept going till about 11 o'clock. So they'll go for a while, but I want to be there for the whole thing there. Gear down.
Landing gear down.
Part of the way through the bar citizen, I'll order some food for dinner. I even have a beer in the fridge. I may even grab one. Oh, this has landing pad. I will land on the landing pad. I'll take this one here.
Landing complete.
Nice. Off. Yeah, drinks are definitely cheaper that way. I think I have a Dallas Blonde in the fridge. Might grab that. Come on, baby. Those are my other two. Woohoo! Oh man. So Solo, you having a good day, man? I certainly am. I'm having a nice, relaxing day. Looking forward to this Bar Citizen. I'll be with Soul Citizens. SOL Citizens. And so far so good. Awesome. Yeah, so you might be able to catch the they'll probably be streaming it on Twitch. Soul Citizens, I think. Where did I come in? This way. Normally I do light roleplay and I walk everywhere, but I'm under time constraint now, so I gotta fuck it a little bit here. Good lord, they gotta mow this grass. Yeah, it looks like we'll be good. I'll finish in time. Oh, well, that's a nice landing, if I do say so myself. That's pretty much roleplay. Are you in a hurry? Yeah, I am in a hurry. Yeah, you know, you're right. I am in a hurry, so I gotta roleplay it like I'm in a hurry. So you're absolutely right. Thank you. Engines on.
Engines on. Launch complete. Landing gear up.
There it is. Drop off. Yep, it is perfectly logical. Perfectly logical. I am in a hurry, so I gotta book it. I think sometime later this year or early next year, I'm gonna treat myself to Toby eye tracker. Although I don't really have anything against the Track IR. I heard that the Toby eye tracker is pretty awesome, and I'd like to switch to that and not have to stick something on my headset. Yeah, it looks like it's on the moon. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that on there. Drop off. It's on Aberdeen. Yes. I also got Game Glass on one of my tablets. That comes in handy. I really like it.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel engaged.
Yeah, Game Glass is good stuff, man. Cool down, cool down, cool down. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my fault.
Quantum travel. Engage.
You know, I think it's all right if I'm a little bit late to the to the thing. I'm not gonna stress over it. Oh, of course it's on the night side. It's always on the night side.
Quantum travel complete.
It's dark. Turn on some lights. Not really gonna help at this point, but 4,000 feet. I better slow it down before I smack into something.
Be advised, you are continuing to approach a restricted facility.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Treated according to local laws.
Oh, I'm gonna get a crime stat. Hard way, yeah. You can build your own shards. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Alright, gear down. Maybe I passed over another facility. Whoa!
Landing gear down.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Yep, I'm trespassing. I'm coming straight down at it. How could it be trespassing when I'm supposed to deliver something to this? Either that or I truly did fly over something else and they didn't like it. Always right at the end where something goes wrong. Gears down. 700 meters, 600, 500. On. Yeah, I was just facing straight down. Where's the door? There's... Huh. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna have to cheat and look outside. Because this place is so uneven. The building. Wow, there's like no flat place to land. Oh. I'm gonna have to go to like the back side of the... Christ, this thing is so big. That looks good. But no, because I won't be able to get back on the ramp. That should do it. Open up the ramp. Let's see. Because you don't know how many times I've been stranded because the freaking ramp is too high. Oh, look at that. It digs right into the ground. I'll take it. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. Okay, engines off. Exit seat. That's what she said. Yeah, I know. It's Christ, this thing is big. Okay, I don't see a crime stat, so I think I may have where am I going? I think I may have gotten lucky there. I think I flew over something that was private property. See, it's starting. That's alright. I'll be a little bit late. That's alright. You like to use the Titan for that 2-inch. Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. Normally I would do this with a with my Vanguard Warden, but I like my Star Runner and I want to use it. And I didn't use it for a while for these things because the amount of hydrogen fuel I'd have to use up easily took up half the profit. This pays 8,000. I would have to pay 4,000 in hydrogen fuel when it first came out. It was ridiculous. I stopped using it for a while for this type of thing. But so now they seem to have fixed it, and I barely use any kind of fuel, so it's much more profitable. And I wonder if I can, like, I'm thinking about just logging out of the game right here. Logging in, getting into the bed and logging out. Because every time, well, actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna put it in orbit. I'm gonna get above the planet, and then I'll. Whoa! What the hell was that? Oh boy. Every time I try to do something with... Oh boy. Oh wow. Well, that's bugged. You know, I don't think I've ever had... Okay. It's stuck to this spot.
Attention, please. This is Crusader Security Director Sasha Rust with a vital security alert. The criminal gang known as the Ninetails have launched an illegal blockade of Bountiful Land Station. At this time, all travelers are advised to avoid the affected area until quantum travel can be restored. To aid with our efforts, Crusader Security is calling upon any trained security professionals in the area to assist. Stand by for further announcements.
Okay, well, I can't even kill this mission. I can't get into the Moby-Glass. Everything just got borked. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close the door. We're gonna log out in the bed and call it a day. Down. I don't care. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's right. I forgot to close the. Did I close the back door? We're logging out. Go to bed. Yeah, I think that was probably super glue that came apart. That opened up the tubes inside the box and it leaked. Nothing's working. I can't even log out. I can get up. Can't get up either. Alright, well, we're out. Good game. Alright, I'm gonna go to this bar citizen. I have no idea. The game just borked on me. I should put it in the issue council, but I don't have time. Alright. Solo, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great, fantastic day. And I'm gonna go have some fun and order some dinner later and chill out and relax and have some fun. So that's it. Thank you so much. Everybody be good. Be good to each other. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Play Star Citizen. Play games. Never stop playing games. That's just, don't ever stop playing games. And I will check you later. I should be back streaming Wednesday night after work. But I'm starting to stream a little bit more here and there. But my usual days are Wednesday and Saturday. But I might sprinkle in a few more and start streaming a little bit more often. But that's it. Take care, guys. Thank you very, very much for your eyeballs, for your lurks, hanging out, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Take care. Bye.
Next up, next up is me. I suppose I should have started with myself first. I'm Fast Card FC. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm backer in October 2014, and my favorite tip is the Benny Midgetman. Ash Walker, you are